Well, this is Mom and Me, a podcast. I say mainly aimed at showing two sides of two creative worlds. Best Buzz podcast. Today, I say we're gonna stick to where we're currently in, which is the Christmas season, and I plan on giving some colorful commentary just about what I feel like right now for the Christmas season could be my own top five film movies, I guess, that you would actually see, and my top five animated Christmas films for the season. So, uh, Mom and me, or Mom and I, we're going to present, I say, our tops, and there's no really off kilt or off. Like you give your 1 through 5 is your best for you. So even if you don't feel like it goes in any order as far as likability, just the movies that come to your mind. That's even where I'm going with it. But we did select, I say, a top five that we felt. So
But they're in no certain order unless you decide to place them in your order.
yes.
Okay, and I will comment. I will comment. I won't say that I'll put each one in the category as far as 1 to 5, but I will also add my comments after you say what you have to say about yours.
Well, I did try and keep a little, let's say, current, put some currents into my now was the top five for this season, and I felt like mine would be Dashing Through the Snow, Candy Cane Lane. I did say my movies. Um, I can I kind of deviated, even though we did have those. I didn't really watch Candy Cane Lane thoroughly enough, so I don't want to throw that out there. Even though I do want to give it this credit for being a current Christmas movie, but I did end up watching Jingle All the Way on the accident. So I was just saying, I threw Jingle All the Way in there as well. Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Uh, what was it? The Santa Claus. And did I miss one? Is it Frosty?
This Christmas story because
Oh, right, the Christmas Story, right? But I didn't want to give a really commentary on the Candy Cane Lane, so that I'll say that'll be more your expertise because I didn't, but I wanted to give it credit for being a current movie that came out, and then for something that my eyes did see, I did actually watch, like I said, the other three over this season, so other four I should say. But Candy Cane Lane, I'm still maybe an hour or 57 minutes into it, so I didn't exactly feel comfortable.
hmm I would say with Candy Cane Lane, it's a very good movie. I would say that it has a lot of creativity in it.
Yes.
And it actually stars Eddie Murphy and Tracy Ellis Ross and David Allen Greer.
Yes.
Eddie Murphy is the main character. He plays as Chris Carver, and he's a person. He loses his job right before Christmas. But anyway, in their neighborhood, they have the yard decoration for the holidays and that.
Yes.
And he's the type that he actually makes his from woodwork, and he really is great with it. But so he makes his from woodwork and that. But anyway, every year his neighbor actually wins the contest, and his neighbor have like the little blown up uh, yard
Yes.
decorations and that.
Inflatables.
Right, the inflatables. So anyway, on this day, he has a daughter who stays home, and she goes with him. They be going to look for more supplies and that, so that they can finish, do the yard or whatever. So while they're looking for supplies, they run into a Christmas shop. There's supposed a Christmas decoration shop. And so when they run inside there, they see a lot of. I mean, this store is beautiful with all the different stuff in it. And there's the shop owner's name is Pepper.
Yes.
So in the store, he finds what he's looking for, or whatever, and then she has him to sign the receipt, and he doesn't know at the time when he's signing that receipt that he's signing away his own, his own freedom. I'll put it that way. So anyway, he takes the stuff home, and that him and his daughter, whatever, they fix up the yard and all of that, and he's excited about it. Well, they're excited about it. Then the next morning, they wake up, and half of the stuff is missing off of the display because it's really the 12 days of Christmas with the rings and the birds and the geese, all the different stuff that's on from the 12 days of Christmas. So the animals actually have gotten off from on there or whatever and all of that, but they don't know that that's what had happened to him and that. So he accuses like the neighbors of stealing it because he thought they were jealous of his stuff and that. He goes back, him and his daughter go back to the store again, and this is when he finds out that the Pepper is actually an evil elf. She's upset with Santa and all of that too. So, but anyways, through all of this, it discovers that there's some little people that look like the little figurines that's inside there. That they also had made that same. They also signed the receipt like that. So that's why there's little figurines in there. And they be trying to warn him and all of that. So he ends up coming back later and he steals that. He takes them and they all come together, and that's how they end up finding out that the only way he can get rid of the spell, so he won't turn into the figurine, is actually to find the rings from the song, the 5 golden rings. Then you don't find out till the end that the way she has it set up that he is supposed to find 40. So he already started turning, and for a few minutes he actually does turn into the figurine in that too. And it has David Allen Greer in it where he actually is Santa. So Santa kind of intervenes in the end or whatever like that too. And I have to say that David Allen Greer is really a great actor. To me, he doesn't get a lot of the credit, even though he doesn't play a long part in this movie and that, but he really is a great actor.
Yes.
So anyway, to me, I would say that the movie is not where it's telling you like about Santa Claus or anything like that. It reminds you more of the feel like Christmas Vacation or The Cranks or something like that, where it's more about trying to compete with your neighbors with the yard and all that stuff like that, because those movies are more like that. But I love the creativity in it, as far as even the little people moving around, look like little dolls moving around,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was really creative. So I actually gave it a 5.
Okay. Well, since I didn't watch it, but I will say for what I saw, I'm still say, for me, I just was looking for the Santa spirit and stuff like that, and even the Christmas spirit in the movie. So I did see that so far. So I'm gonna still just, what should I say? Maybe say a undetermined for me, but I'll still say no lower than right now a 3.5, because I'm halfway in the movie. So, but I feel like everything else was. But my movie that I did kind of see a little bit more in depth this current was the Dashing Through the Snow, and I feel like this movie, it was decent. My overall, I'll just go ahead and get straight to it. I gave it maybe a 4 out of 5. And there's only 2 reasons why I like anybody else. You probably, you're like, hey, that's still generous, or whatever, or maybe I'm just mean. But mine, I will say, are kind of petty. But I just felt like Lil Rel's beard, like they didn't need to have his black piece of beard inside the other beard, where it kind of looked like it was a fake beard, even though he was supposed to be. And then, like I said, they have a music scene in it where they're talking about a woman's behind in it, and it was like, it's Christmas. Can we not put that, in the Christmas movie? But I will say I did like the just again. I'm not looking to give anybody a 1 or 2 or even really below a 3, because it's, for me, it's about the Christmas spirit. I even say at this time, for the movie, since they're both embodying some type of elf or Santa type thing, I do want to see the Santa belief. I want to see that that's what it is. I want to see how creative they were about going in it. I want to also see, did it implement like a family phase, or, and I feel like every movie, like even from what I saw about uh, the other movie prior to me speaking on Dashing Through the Snow, I feel like it had a family and children kind of implementation into, you happen to see like generations go into, like the little girl with Ludacris, making him really believe it is, So, and then in your movie, you was even saying it's like what, his daughter, or somebody when he first go gives the. I'm trying to think of how you have referenced it with Eddie Murphy. Right? Isn't it somebody in his family that's helping him?
His daughter don't go to school that day, and so she stays with him.
And that's what I was saying. Like, do
Mm-hmm.
we utilize even though this isn't, but when you look at like a tree lighting event, or like what's another thing? Even though I don't want to use the Grinch because I know we talking about this movie, but when you look at the Who's, and even though it's that one tree, how all of them get around it and they all be happy, even though it's one tree,
Right.
where it embodies like Christmas spirit being spread, and that's really what I'm saying. And then the last, like how I said, for me, so I don't sound judgmental out of my five, is just the music. Like, did the music match? And that's what I felt like all of the movies so far they did. So, and I'm just saying for Dashing Through the Snow from what I saw, and then for what I saw from what's that, Candy Cane Lane. So,
And then for me, well, I have to say that I probably should have paid more attention to the music because I can't really remember too much of of the music. But one thing that I do have to say with Dashing Through the Snow, where we talk about Ludacris, where he plays as Eddie,
yes,
and Lil Rel plays as Nick or Nicholas or whatever. Well, and the character with Ludacris at the beginning, when you find out that from when he was a kid, he had a misfortune with his when he went and asked Santa for a wish and it didn't come true for his family. So he already had he had a thing against Christmas because of that.
yes,
And at the beginning of this movie, you find out too that him and his wife are separated. And during this time that he comes together on this night or whatever like that, his wife is going Christmas shopping and he's left there. His daughter comes to go to hang with him, and the character Eddie or whatever, which is Ludacris or whatever, his neighbor is out of town, and so he actually supposed to go over and feed their cat,
yes,
and that's how he runs across Nick, who is Lil Rel or whatever, is supposed to be Santa. Okay, and of course he thinks that he's a nut because Ludacris is actually a social worker. So when he sees this guy acting like he's acting, he's trying to take him to get some help or whatever because he thinks that there's something mentally wrong with him and that. Not knowing that Lil Rel or whatever had already seen some kind of, what's the word, the political, he discovered some kind of political corruption or whatever, and he ended up with that. So he ended up with their, uh, what is it? Not laptop, their, what's the little, I can't even think of what they call it now.
tablet.
Yeah, tablet. Sorry. So he ended up with the wrong tablet. And that tablet actually would let you know, would let them know what the corruption was and all of that. So they, through the whole thing, those people was chasing them. And it was Nick who brought Eddie back to believing at the end, because it was really so that he would believe again that Santa was real.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like in a way, seriously, I think a lot of people. I don't even want to say like men, but I feel like a lot of people have that jaded side of Christmas. When you look at their spirit of Christmas, it probably was either their Christmas spirit being damaged, or maybe somebody promised them something, which was still kind of petty. But I was just saying, for Eddie, not to rhyme, ha ha, petty Eddie. Uh, I do. I think that's one of the reasons I kind of liked it as well, is because most of us do have probably a jaded memory as to why our holiday spirit is either, not as lit as others or not as bright as others. So, but not to cut you off.
No, I was done. One thing that I had said that it reminds me of the Santa Claus, where they didn't believe, and it teach where he now at the end believes.
Yes. Now my question, not trying to be goofy, what did you feel about the end of the movie? Did you feel like it ended like, how do I want to say? Like, I kind of felt like it ended a little quick. Like once they got to the end, like it was like of how it all ended, but maybe I just was hoping for more. Like
It ended where it was supposed to make it look like it was a happy ending,
yes,
where they both came back together, as far as the family.
Yes.
And it was sort of like, it was almost like he made that magic happen. Santa Claus did, or Nick.
Yes. Yes. I agree. But I did. For some reason, I did. I envisioned like I don't know. I guess if they did that, it would be more like the Santa Claus, like some type of gift doing and stuff.
Well, I would think, in my opinion, of between the two movies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, between the two movies, I would say that Dashing Through the Snow was more for kids to believe, even though adults will believe too. Where when we look at the Candy Cane Lane, it was more about decorating, and that you didn't really see Santa Claus in it, besides when he was coming to get Pepper.
Yes.
But whatever. But I think it was more so the kids was believe, and at the end to see that even if things ain't working out right, how mommy and daddy can come back together, or
yes,
where. So I believe that even though it was family, it was more of a child belief, where Candy Cane Lane is more of a showing you the adults in the neighborhood how they competing, because in that movie they was actually competing for a prize and all that stuff like that too, where children don't really be doing all of that, they're not even responsible for the decorating outside.
yes. Now I could see that. That's a nice contrast. So you felt like Dashing Through the Snow was more of a kids movie, and Candy Cane Lane, I can see that though, because like even in the summertime, not to switch it, because again I know it's Christmas season, but in the summertime when you look at how people decorate their yards, and so I do see that. I do see that, and in just the amount of time I saw, I'm still trying to be honest, I haven't seen it completely, but I did see that. I did see the competing, like as far as like, even if it's not competing in that way, but like how even in Home Alone you saw that like dressed up look coming into where Kevin and his family lived at back then, like with the lights, the fanfare and stuff. So, and I did see that in that movie at the time. But that is I think that was a nice assessment.
Yeah, because even with Home Alone, with like how you saying Home Alone, even though we always associate it with Christmas, the story is really telling you about how he was left at home. But we always we look at it as a Christmas movie because it was during the Christmas time, and
we do. I know if I'm generalizing, I know I do. I most certainly do. I even, like I said, I have an affinity for the song where it's not. I don't even think it's a Christmas song, but the little mischief music that plays when he's about to either leave or do something, like
or even like the uncle being inside the
shower,
and all that, you see.
Say, get out of here, you nosy little jerk, or I'm gonna slap you.
And then see the song "Cool Jerk" and all of that, but they're not Christmas songs, but we just assume.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is true. Most certainly, that is in the Christmas. But the first two, for some reason, it does give you that feeling that it's a Christmas movie. Even down to him being in, what is that, Central Park with that lady and stuff, and the doves, and So,
and even the guy having that Christmas store to give him the turtle doves.
Right, exactly. The Duncan's toys or something like that. What is it called? Hopefully, I'm naming the stuff right and just not, throwing the wrong name. But I could agree with that. I really do.
Then it's a movie that kids would love. Because every kid, even though they miss their parents, they would love to be able to experience what he experienced in the hotel with all the food and having the whole house to himself to jump up and down on the beds. And so it's more like a childlike.
Definitely, definitely.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
know I'm off topic though.
Oh
'Cause
no, we both, but I in the spirit of trying to, I feel like explain the criteria. You know, we to me have to sometimes make a tangent just to show that the effort for trying to compile it is honest, but it's also just on the flow, opinionated, and how we really feel. Like I said, I don't feel like it's a right or wrong answer. Like these are movies that we are using to spread our Christmas joy and spirit. So you know, I appreciate the time that someone else even is taking to say, hey, what I liked about this movie, because you could just turn on anything and watch it, but even to hear another person say, just like when you brought that example out as far as being two different audiences, because sometimes with with your own mind, you'll look at it and you're like, I only saw this, I only saw that. When another person is like, well, what I saw is this, then you can kind of be like, I did see that now. I do. So, yep.
hmm Well, since we were speaking of Home Alone, is Home Alone one of your on your list?
Um, I'm trying to remember. Did I have that on there? Like, I think I tried to stick to what you.
Because I know you said you had Jingle All the Way, but I know we had Home Alone on our
Yes.
original one, so that's why I wondered if you.
Yes, Home Alone is still. And see, I forgot about that. Home Alone is still mine. Now, I was trying to keep like what we wrote down, but I just didn't really sit down. I feel like enough to watch the Eddie Murphy movie. Even though I know I could have in the morning and stuff too, but even today, just being out of wits, not knowing where my stuff was, I did plan on watching that because I wanted to watch the movies closer to, or the two newest movies closer to when we actually, did this, because I feel like it would stick a little better. So because the older movies, I'm being honest, since I've seen them so much, they're like here. They stuck in. I was watching Home Alone on Disney Plus. When was that? Sunday night, and it was like I knew almost every word he was about to say, even when he was like, "What'd he say?" Everyone's gone, and he's the only one there, and he ran through the house, and I could remember when I was a kid having the handheld game and having the Sega game. So it was like nostalgia for me. But Home Alone, I feel like because I was kind of Dennis the Menace style child, because I was mischief. I do like Home Alone because it kind of plays like on things that I kind of did. For me, Home Alone will probably always be in my top 5 movies, because I was kind of goofy like him in that way. Where like even him being alone, like I got off a bus one time from kindergarten, and I just swore my mom went to the park and just forgot that I was coming home, and I ran from the bus stop all the way down there. And mind you, on the way there, it was people trying to stop, trying to get me to go home. I remember a guy said, "Hey, where's your mom and dad?" I just took off running when he said that. But the thing I liked about that is like how he got left and he was able to go to the store. He was able to eat ice cream when he
whose
wanted.
money did he take?
Right, his parents.
Remember, he climbed up the thing. He said,
Oh,
"Buzz."
Buzz. Oh, right,
That's
he
when he
did.
broke Buzz' whole little thing, even down to the spider got out, all of that.
Yeah.
But it was funny because by the time the spider got done crawling around, remember it was Marv or somebody that he put
Yeah.
the spider on when.
Yeah, when he was on the floor. Yeah, but that's why I was saying it hit with me, because I was one of those children, or boys I should say, where I was in the mischief, like him messing with Buzz. I went in my brother's clothes and stuff. I used to wear them. So it is, but on the
Right, their toys.
that's, well, I feel like that's debatable, because people love to say that I was the one breaking toys, and it was like, I don't know. I think you just trying to blame me.
No.
It was. I think people was just trying to blame me. But yeah, overall, I feel like for a Christmas movie, it'll probably satisfy like that hyper child in your home for a Christmas movie. Like, but I still feel like I put it in there because, of course, the Christmas caroling in the movie. The family side of, again, that's what I was saying. Well, for me, that's what I look at is the music, family, the spirit of Christmas in some type of way. Even though theirs did not touch a Santa thing, a belief really in it. But I still feel like the family aspect is where Home Alone tackles Christmas because it's you even got the "It's Christmas and I'm coming home" and all of that. So
yeah, one of the things I think is unique in it too, which is great, is that every neighborhood, especially when you are a child, you will have a neighbor or somebody that you all will think there's something mysterious about him, like how he was with the man where you thought was told that the man killed people. And
yes.
and when you're growing up, every neighborhood would always be there. Where there'd be one, they'd be telling you, yeah, that person over there is, or that house over there is haunted, or something about it. So
Yes.
that part tickled me till the end when he realized that man was really nice.
Yes. Yeah, I do. I felt like if now definitely what you just said, it is always someone in a neighborhood. You can be like, that person right there. They said that they dog got burnt up and they still be haunting the house over there. So, but
Or us, even though I probably shouldn't say this on here, us having neighbors that we call the Burbs from a movie that we saw or whatever back in the day, because the people will always stay hidden.
Yeah, me no hablo inglés, see too. No, I kid, but that is true. That is true. Now, did you have anything else from Home Alone that you felt like stood out or?
No, I think I
No?
kind of said what I had to say on it, but you can do your jingle all the way.
Well, Jingle All the Way, honestly, is my honorable mention. I didn't, really, how I want to say, deviate from that, 5, but that would be my own personal honorable mention. And I felt like how you talked about Christmas Vacation and, what's the other one where you talked about competition? But the main thing would
Christmas with the Crank.
Christmas with the Cranks. I felt like this embodied competition, but it also, to me, showed that they both were trying to do it for their family. Both Sinbad and Arnold Schwarzenegger at the time, I can't really remember what Arnold did in the movie as far as his profession, even though I did see it. I remember him being some type of like businessman, salesman or something. And, of course, Sinbad is the postman. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like they made it funny just because
The way they ran for that one toy.
yes. Yeah, exactly that whole, and then at the end, they both end up being in the parade, being the villain and being Turbo Man.
Mm-hmm.
So they were both to me, clowns for that. But it made the movie even more interesting. But I feel like it was a good movie, just for even like the children, how much we always overlook what our parents try and do for us. Like that was really my main premise, is like our parents go through whatever just to get us the most smallest toy, that we probably ain't even gonna play with next year. During the year sometime we gonna pick up a new toy somewhere or even a new hobby, and that toy gonna be in the back of the garage or back of the room, and we gonna forget that we asked our parents and begged it and said that Christmas wouldn't be Christmas if we ain't have this one toy. Or
And that's true, because what would you, if you look back at even your childhood or whatever toys that you got, besides maybe video games,
yes.
you think about, because I would say a video game, if you buy a system, this got games to it, those kids is going to play that all year.
Yes.
But if you buy a toy like how you saying like they had or whatever, that it'll probably sit up on the shelf after a while. They might have played with it 2 or 3 months, and now it's a new toy because when they go to the store, they want something new.
That's true. Birthday might have came, like you said. I already want a new toy. I'm already undervaluing this thing where I was saying, oh, I'm a cherish it. So, But yeah, I did. I liked it because I did. I felt like it brung those things out. Of course, the parents love, and then again, you see how my criteria is. Again, it's sappy, so I know it's nothing heavy, but that's what I'll be looking for. Is the even if you kind of look at this one, kind of goes goodwill, like how we always want to see, even though some of the stuff is downplayed by them competing for it, but you know. Like even trying to help other people and stuff at the time. So, but yeah.
Okay, I guess the last one that we have is the Christmas Story.
Oh, now Christmas Story. Do you want to go first, or?
No.
Now, A Christmas Story. Although I still have it as a classic, I felt kind of. I'd say I gave it a 3.75 out of 5. And the only reason is because, again, even though I didn't probably judge Home Alone as low, but it really, to me, even though it's called A Christmas Story, it's not really centered around Christmas that much to me. I get that he's wishing for this gun and that but a lot of the innuendos, like for a child, is kind of, So, and I'm just saying the BB gun, it's gonna shoot your eye out. Of course, for me now being a dad and having daughters and stuff too, now I'm like, what do we need this lamp of a leg for, or this leg lamp and a fishnet stocking just sitting in the? I understand that, but I did like the imagination of the movie and stuff, even with him with all his daydreaming on. If he shot his eye out and if he went blind and stuff, how he would be and stuff.
And how he'd get his mouth washed out because he would be saying bad words and all those things like that. I would say that, I guess it made him think of that one special Christmas. So I guess that's why it's called A Christmas Story, but you would think it would be called maybe The Christmas Gift.
Yes.
More so than The Christmas Story, because in our minds we think of The Christmas Story as something that have to do with Jesus or Santa, and you really had neither one in there.
No, that's true. That is true, ma. I didn't even think about that.
Right.
She said you really had neither one of those in that.
Right. And so in your mind, if you see something that says The Christmas Story, you're gonna think it's gonna have one, or either both. It might have Santa and Jesus in it, or it might have one or the other, but The Christmas Story has neither.
Yes.
It's more of his own story.
Yes. That's true.
It's his own story of a Christmas memory.
Because he is grown, isn't he? Because at the end of the movie, right, that's true. I see you. She like, yeah, I had the rundown of it, but other than that, like you said, the other outtakes in it did make the movie like laughable and watchable and stuff. Even like how you said the telling on the boy for cussing, and you can hear the mom on the other end.
Or daring, showing you kids when they're in school how they dare to want to put his tongue on the pole and he gets stuck to it. And
yeah, get stuck outside with his tongue on the pole.
So it makes you think back at even at your childhood when you was in school, things you might have dared. Yeah, we never did nothing like that, but
yes, it was some pretty good little outtakes in the movie. But I'll still say,
and the snowsuits.
Exactly.
Because the snowsuits make me think of y'all when y'all was little, because I used to put y'all on snowsuits where you really couldn't walk in them or whatever. You didn't want to put them on.
Oh yeah. And we used to get in trouble for coming home, and the snowsuit would be folded up, and you just got on your coat. Because I remember, I used to somehow luck up and still get the whole snowsuit. Everybody else just got moon boots and triple
snow
fat
pants
boots
that looked like they had the suspenders.
Yeah, I did. I was still the height to get them, so I used to have them. I used to like them though, because didn't that mean at recess you can actually play? I used to hate to play at the winter time. I know this is random, but I used to hate to play at recess with snow outside and you fall or something in the snow and then your jeans be wet all the way up until about time to go home. So I used to hate going outside for recess in the winter time unless I had snow pants. So it's still kind of like that now. Like even when I do snow, I gotta at least have on another layer of clothes on the top of me because I do not like being wet.
We see that because you do wear your little overalls and snowsuit now.
Yep, because I do. I hate being wet. I don't know what that's about, but I do. But yep, well, I guess that pretty much. Did you have an honorable mention or a movie that you wanted to?
No, I would say just like when we said that about Christmas with the Cranks. I would say, even though mine is a Hallmark movie, I love the Christmas Train, but it has nothing.
Okay. And what's that
So I
about?
would recommend people to watch that. If it's an old, kind of older like movie now, but it has Danny Glover in it. It is a good movie. It's like a romance movie,
Yes.
but it's called The Christmas Train.
Okay. Christmas Train. Now I've never seen that, but
That's
but
it's,
that's your
it's,
honor.
it's for the women.
But that's your honorable mention, huh? It's a Christmas Train.
Yeah.
Okay, a Christmas Train. Might have to check it out one time. Well, that wraps up the movie side of our top five. Did you?
Yeah, so I guess we'll call this a wrap for this session. And the next one we'll do is on upcoming is on the cartoons. Maybe at five top five Christmas cartoons.
Sounds like a winner to me. Well, this is, I guess, me from Mom and Me, and
Best buds.
and we thank you for tuning in.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays.